Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. I am not a member, however, I have entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. It's really a quick one here. I happened to see this yesterday, and I sat on it for a bit, and then I had another lesson planned, so I figured that, I would, through the Spirit, try to just, if the Spirit allows. If this gets posted, then, the Spirit took over, and we, I did this lesson off the dome. But again, I don't know what it is about twofold, things being twofold, but this is the same theme here. As you can see, the title, what my Haitian mother told me about voodoo. You got the hoodoo and voodoo and all that other stuff, this lower level, left-handed magic and enchantment, and it's the same thing that these Edomites are trying to tap into. It may not be exactly voodoo, but stand now with thine enchantments, right? That is why this place is called the daughter of Babylon, right? Who art to be destroyed, with the Chaldees. And we'll go into Grok real quick. We'll ask our third witness on what's happening, okay? But I'm gonna let her. I don't think it's very long. 4 and 4. Let's get Isaiah. I have Isaiah 47 cubed.
If you believe in the concept,
So we're going to go to that real quick. This is for Isaiah 47 and 12, but I think I want to go up a little bit more as well. But I'm going to read 12 for now. Okay, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a cold or warm at, nor a fire to sit before. And you're seeing that now with this whole C. Kurt thing, and they are ramping up with a lot of these enchantments, okay? Because apparently old boy is worth more dead than alive. The same way you martyr someone, they are simply a sacrifice, and you martyr them. Now you have a perpetual thing to lean on, right? Within your campaign, right? So, never forget. The same concept of the slogan as never forget, right? You know who says that, okay? And we have to learn about it every year or hear about it over and over. That number 6 with 6 zeros. And then you have, on the other hand, a pacification tool. I don't know if you are, above the age of 30. I remember a lot of the old 90s sitcoms, would ever be some sort of aggression, or when, the brother would stand up for himself and, say, I ain't taking nothing from Whitey or whatever. And they would say, well, what would Dr. King think? What would Dr. King, he was worth more dead than alive, because they were able to turn him into some sort of a martyr, or really a tool, okay, a tool of pacification. And the same thing they do with their false idol, white Jesus, is another tool of pacification. All right, so we opened with the scripture, and, I've rambled enough. I'm going to let her talk. And there are going to be some more scriptures that come out. I will try my best not to pause it as much. So here we go.
of good, you must also acknowledge the concept of bad. If you believe in God, you must know that the devil/Satan exists. It's real. If you believe in miracles, how can you not believe in curses? And if you think that people have gifts, you believe in magic.
Sorry. So you said, she said, there's a concept of good and there is a concept of evil. The only difference, I don't know, I'm not a practitioner of magic, The only difference is we understand that there is an omnipotent being, right? The Father, right? Who, Yahweh, and He is in charge of the left and the right. Okay. And yes, you do have the spiritual demon Satan on the left, and then you have Yahweh Shai on the right. And the physical manifestation are the Israelites and the Edomites, the antagonists and the protagonists, the two main characters of the story who go back and forth.
Hell, to believe in any of this, you believe in magic. I am Haitian American, Haitian born, American raised. That piece of information is very crucial for what I'm about to tell you. If you find yourself to not be somebody who is spiritual, you don't believe in any of those things, please go ahead, scroll, because this is for my people who do believe in that. A while back, I shared with you guys about my mother telling me about America and how America uses voodoo and does voodoo. She told me about another group of people that use voodoo a lot. And just to add on to her credibility, my mother chose Christianity. That was not a religion she was raised in. With that being said, although I was raised in a Christian household, Pentecostal to be exact, that doesn't mean my mother doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, considering... Yeah, anyway. Okay, so getting...
Yeah, I'm trying to get past... Maybe we're getting to the part that actually means something, because, I guess she had to give a backstory. And, of course, Christianity comes out of Catholicism, and you can blend any and everything that you want to. All right, a lot of these witches, or a lot of these Christian so-called women, are witches, in some form or fashion. Wiccan, Wicca, whatever you call it, hoodoo, voodoo, praying to the ancestors. A lot of them got shrines in their closets, antidepressant pills in their medicine cabinets, and dildos in their drawers.
Into it, this group apparently is notoriously known for doing voodoo. My mother said that they are known for it, that anybody else that does voodoo know this group of people for doing voodoo, and that their use for voodoo is actually for destiny swapping. So this group of people, they swapped the identities of the real people with the real people that were set to inherit earthly blessings. Problem is
okay, now I'm sorry for pausing it, but just bear with me. You see the whole destiny swapping thing, and it made me think of the movie Sinners as well. So if we go, of course, we've read Genesis 27 on the last one, but we're going to get it again. Or is it 25? Isaac entreated 21, and we'll read it a little bit farther too. This is Genesis 25 and 21. Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right, and they want that, they want that blessing. They want it. But it was never meant for you. And no matter what the means were that Jacob got the blessing, it was always ordained in the heavens. All right, because it went from Abraham, it went to Isaac and to Jacob. And the book, I believe, in the book of Corinthians, it says, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. I'm sorry, and actually, yeah, it does say that, but we're going to get that in a second, and we'll go back to the girl. Where do we go? 24, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. Okay, he was not hairy as a baby. He was like the dyed garment of ram skin. It is a custom. If you have the book Bible Mannerisms and Customs, you can see that. You can find that. Also in the book of Exodus, I believe, it'll tell you about the ram skins. Just type in book of Exodus ram skin. Okay, you can find that on your own. All right. Continuing on, verse 26. And after that, his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said unto Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom, or Ishashua, wasted away. Okay? And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? Right? No forethought for the future, for future generations. Just me, now. And then turned around. If you read a little bit into the next chapter, then turned around and tried to squander his way back after he sold it fair and square. And that is that is their spirit, from the serpent in the garden to Cain, all the way to the same daggone spirit. So you can read the rest of that, and you can read 26.
They didn't earn it. These people did not naturally earn it, which is why they lack humbleness. It's also why they move with every bit of arrogance and entitlement that they believe that the natural owners of this identity would or should have. My mother told me that they sacrificed their own and that they sacrificed their youth.
Okay, remember what I said about the 6 and how we always got the slogan of never forget, sacrifice their own. And they do things to children. That is a huge thing, allegedly, of course, about children not being safe, and about the PDF files being able to go over there to the land with its current occupants. All right, because a bastard so dwell in Ashdod. Right, the land shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. What else did she say that I missed? Okay, I mentioned the destiny swapping, right? Because they want, trying to get that blessing. She said they sacrifice their own, and they walk around with an arrogance, the way, or it should be a certain level of self-respect that Jake should have, but they don't. And it is evident by, the men of the going out on the street corners, or anytime if you've ever tried to tell your people that they were important. And the first thing they do is say, well, they try to cape for E. They don't want to be important. Jake does not have a rulership mentality. But these other ones do. Except it's in vain.
Sacrifice their youth a lot is also part of the reason why they have a lot of kids. They sacrifice their youth in order to keep the position that they stole. That's what's told to me, all right? Now, I don't know if I believe this part or whatever, but this is what my mother said. She said this is why a lot of their kids have disabilities. A lot of their kids are born with disabilities. I don't know about that, but that's what she said. This is also why they have their own communities. They need to have their own communities like all over the world, like little parts of the world, so that they can facilitate the sacrifices, the said sacrifices.
Right, and there is a community in every town. I've lived in a couple places. And even in a town that you think, in some podunk place that you ain't never heard of, they have a community there.
Which is why the discovery of underground tunnels and passageways in New York City, in the community of these people that I'm talking about, made headlines. It made headlines because how are you able to get away with having such passageways
and sweep it under the rug? You don't hear a doggone thing about it. Nothing.
In plain sight. For what reason? And they're only in that community. Just start putting the pieces together. Again, these people are not the true owners of the identity that they stole. They are not, which is also why they don't want certain text to be revealed. Because if certain text comes out and certain text is exposed, it will expose that they are not the true identity of the people that they claim to be.
Right, but that's already out. Um, and her having that basic understanding is a product of the truth going out. I'll paraphrase a couple of scriptures. 6. 2nd Ezra 6. Oh, or is it 5? 27. 2nd Ezra 6 and 27. And this is, we are in the process of this happening here. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared, and you see it. Average everyday person, even the Joe Blow Edomite, Joe Blow Ammonite, everybody, they understand who is who and who ain't. But right now, this devil still has, some power within his hands. So he is the prince and the power of the air. So they are able to control what goes out, or at least what the mass majority sees. Okay, because if the truth of the Bible was to ever just be put out there, mainstream, which it will be soon, or I guess not in the manner that we think, but I'll just say that there is if you don't already know, there is a ginormous fathership barreling towards Earth with those so-called African American aliens. So there are many different ways that the truth that has been so long without fruit shall be declared. We are in for a ride. We are in for some very interesting miracles and some great, but also in the flesh, kind of scary times. And I think I'll let her do like maybe another 20 seconds, and that'll be it. The point was made. So I'll let her do a little bit, and we'll close out with a scripture.
Here's my 2 cents now. I think that their voodoo is starting to get weaker. I think that their voodoo is actually starting to get weaker because I'm starting to realize that a lot of parts of the world are starting to sever ties with this group of people. I think that the same spell that they used, whatever deal they made, is starting to wear off. And the other countries that, were supposed to aid them in being able to steal said identity, they fulfilled their part of the contract. And so now they're starting to remove themselves.
We're going to close out with a couple, actually. What was I going? Psalms 83. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken a crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Tabernacles right at the jump. Okay, and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, and look who we got. The head tribe of E. And, well, you got it. Okay, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre or Tyre, however you say that. Not only that, but we got, let me see, was it 12? Is it Revelation 12? No. That ain't it either. Or maybe it's in Isaiah. Bear with me, I'm looking for it. Found it for his name. We can read this. We're just gonna read. We'll start at 4. No, 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Okay, there's that derivative of red, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, right? There's your NATO and your EU, okay? And that whore is Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. That whore is America. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, and having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And do you see it here? Every manner of wickedness throughout history can be found right here in Babylon. Oh, you know where it's at? So like it is Jeremiah. That's where it's at. But that's the good. We got that, and then we need to hit Jeremiah. Between 49 and 51. We can read 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? And you can see, because they are getting sloppy. They are getting desperate. But that means he's just going to come down with great wrath. All right, when you back a dog into a corner, what does it do? This is verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. Babylon is fallen. Isaiah 49 and 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. All right, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbors of the cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Okay, 50. And it talks about those other nations doing their part, right? The scriptures do tell you that flee, everyone return to his own land, right? Let's see. Declare ye among the nations, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Murdoch is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Verse 6, my people have been a lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill, and they have forgotten their resting place. But we're being, according to the prophecy, we're all being called to remember it. I can't talk. Okay. All right, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries, and we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh and the inhabitants of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Removed out of the midst of Babylon and go forth. Okay. Right. Then it's 51. Oh, no, we got to read 23, Jeremiah 15:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Right, Carl. Yeah, you see that nuclear destruction right here in this chapter. Verse 40, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, the neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man. Okay, we read that in the first one. I just wanted Babylon is fallen. And this is what they want, Jeremiah 51 and 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and will I destroy thee. Oh, Salakia. And with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Well, dang. Okay. Hold on. I bet it's Revelation 18. Cool. Let's get that. And we can close on that there. Maybe. If the script, if I don't get inkling for any other scriptures. All right. Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul beast, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornications, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, and that is what you see here. Except that it's drawing to a close. Why? Because the little season is almost up. You had 1,000. You had your little time to do what you did. You had it twice. All right, and we are the curtains are being drawn here soon. So with that being said, I pray that you are edified. Shabbat shalom.